I would call that poodling, because that's how I picture a poodle walks.
Oh boy.
I think we're all good. I think we're good.
We are not live.
It says
We're
we're
not
live.
live on anything. I'm looking.
I don't know what else to tell you, man. It says we're live. I mean, I can see myself type stuff.
Yeah. But that's just the chat room.
All right, so YouTube, Twitch. We are not live on Twitch. I have no idea. It says on Streamlabs we're live, so fuck it.
Okay.
We must be live somewhere.
Tell you by looking at everything, we're not.
We are alive right here in our respective homes.
Are we?
Possibly, assuming we're in our respective homes. C4 is. I am. Can't speak to the other two of you.
I don't know where.
That's fair. And the elusive gentleman, he's so elusive he could be anything.
I think he's in a cave still.
He could be anywhere.
Where in the world's the elusive gentleman?
Good question. Might not even be this world, really.
I had to guess he'd be in San Diego.
I suspect he'd be in an imaginary land that's much better than this one. He didn't have anything to say about that, so clearly one of us is right.
Yeah, no, like, man, I believe you. I have no idea what the fuck to do.
Oh.
Like, it says we're live, but we're not, so I don't know what to do, man.
Did you hit the go live button on Twitch?
Yes, I did. I have no idea.
If it's recording, we can just do it anyways.
I'm kind of on board with that. I gotta go.
Yeah, I guess we'll just do that. No, screw it. We tried. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, I have no fucking idea.
I think I figured it out.
What?
It's the Twitter overlord.
The Twitter overlord.
Yes, that's the only logical reasoning.
Except for that doesn't make sense. It would be the Amazon overlord because Twitch is owned by Amazon.
Well, we've already wasted 5 minutes, so who cares? Hello and welcome to the Villains Talk Show and Podcast. As you can tell, we have not been able to fix any of our technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I am one of your hosts, C4, with, as always, the Viking, Greasy Boy, and the elusive gentleman. How is everybody today? Oh, don't all answer at once. No, just dead air.
I have one coworker who does the same job as me, and we like split our work 50-50, and she's been sick all week, so I'm tired.
I had a busy last couple of weeks because of the Black Friday. Black Friday Bundaroo everywhere. And as a truck stop, I have to serve everyone, so serving all the truckers, keeping all the Black Friday deals, and like getting some of my own. I've gotten some things here that have magically fallen off a truck.
Exciting.
I know.
knew it.
It's the one thing I love about working.
At the place that you work?
Yeah, at the place I work.
At the place that you work.
Magical things. Actually, I should show it this way. Magical things of certain companies just fall off trucks.
Yeah, because the collective group seems to want to go there all the time.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why they want to go there all the time. Like...
It's the hookers and blow, man.
Oh, clearly.
It's always the hookers and blow.
It's obviously
And the BLTs.
That too.
No. It's the ginger beef.
Truckers can't survive without BLTs.
I do love the ginger beef there. Speaking of which, today, the topic, if you are looking in, if you somehow magically found this on a stream that apparently aren't working, but if the stream's, like, if something's working, then I believe the title of the stream is, I think it is Thesaurus is a, what is it?
Sources.
I think I have it as Thesaurus and a little in all of us. And then on Twitch and YouTube, it is Brontosaurus Rex. Yep.
Before we talk about dinosaurs, do you guys want to hear a fun story about my cat? Guess what my cat did yesterday?
Walk on two legs.
What's this got to do with dinosaurs?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's where I'm curious.
Everything.
Yeah.
He set himself on fire. He dipped his tail in a candle and lit up. It was great. He's fine. We're all fine.
What's this got
But he's just here. Nothing. He's just here cuddling with me, and I remembered the charred fur.
Just that poor cat. And it learned that day that fire is not conducive to fur.
No, actually, he didn't even notice, thankfully.
So what, did you and your husband just notice and just try to chase your cat with a flaming tail through your house?
No, he was sitting right next to me. And so I just grabbed his tail and put it out before he noticed.
Nice. That's good, because that could be a lot worse.
They could have set our house on fire, yeah. Really easily.
Candles. Goddamn archaic flame anti-retardant devices.
Alright, anyways. Sorry to interrupt. It just...
Thesauruses.
What?
The most
Everyone's favorite
underused
dinosaur.
tool in the world. That
What you
thing
mean
that
tool?
you learned about in grade 7 and haven't thought about since. Until this very moment. You, viewers, do you know what a thesaurus is? Say it out loud.
Most people use it like
Tell
crazy.
yourself. Do they know what do you think our view? Do you think no? I'm gonna take that fucking bet. I don't think anyone out there listening knows what a goddamn thesaurus is.
Yeah, they're the ones with the wings, right?
Did you forget who listens to us? Like who your friends are? They definitely know what a thesaurus is.
None of my friends listen to this podcast, so no, I don't know who listens.
What about like Rouge Holla?
Except Rushala, that's true. And for the okay, so she knows what she knows what thesaurus is, but
So
no
you
one
lost your
else
bet
does.
already. Cool.
And furthermore, it's not even if they know what a thesaurus is. When's the last time they used one? Like,
Earlier this week.
I'm not talking about you.
Yesterday.
You guys are special cases, which is why this is the topic of the day.
Are
Yeah,
we though?
because we were talking about the dinosaur with the wings, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thesaurus.
That's a pterodactyl, sir.
No, you're thinking of the pterodon,
Mm-hmm.
which is a subsect of the thesaurus.
It's actually just pronounced pterodon. The P is silent.
No. It's pterodon.
I think he's going to disagree with you on that, yeah.
Pterodon?
Kind of like
Yeah,
Pterodon,
pterodon.
tarantula.
Yeah. Parents for the
Pterodon?
tarantula. The pterodon, yeah.
It's like fuck.
What?
My brain is not working.
You sound tired.
Maybe.
Anyway, thesauruses.
They're the ones.
Pterodactyl. Haha. The
Is that
pterodon
a
is like a.
bigger whale?
Yeah, I know. The pterodactyl is a bigger pterodon.
You mean the pterodactyl?
No. No. B is silent.
The
Specifically
pterodactyl.
talking about the pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl.
So, thesauruses. Those things that are never used. To the point that...
Long necks, right?
It's three.
So... I love thesauruses, first of all. Ignoring...
Dang.
They're my third favorite dinosaur.
But I think the problem is they're introduced to kids at a young age when the only thing, like, it's hard enough to get a kid to want to read, but now you're like, hey, you know that book that doesn't have any stories, it's just full of boring words? Now did you know there's a sequel with more words? My God. Yeah, that's like, that just throws it out on the bus, or throws it out to the wolves right away. What kid's going to get excited over
old-fashioned synonym rolls?
Pardon me?
Who doesn't like good old-fashioned synonym rolls?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Here's the thing. Kids are either totally uninterested in thesauruses, have no idea how to use them, and hate them for no reason without even knowing what they are, or they use them constantly to the point where nothing they write makes sense because they're just trying to use fancy words.
I was both.
Those are my favorite people.
They try to use like 3 different words to describe the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't realize once you find a word in a thesaurus, you have to go back to the dictionary and then look up the definition of that word so you make sure that it actually pertains to what you're trying to say.
Actually, sometimes the worst ones are the kids who do that, but then they still somehow get it wrong. And yeah, except they've looked it up, so they're convinced it's right. That can be real fun. Just like, no, this doesn't mean what you think it does. Yes, it does. I looked it up. No, it doesn't.
I hear what you're saying, but I mean, in one sense, I do like the idea that at least kids get to discover new words. I mean, it's really boring when you hear people, like, especially kids, say like 1,000 times in a sentence.
That is true.
I don't know what you're like talking about, like, dude.
You have to try to be that bad. even I. But yeah, I mean, this was the Greasy Boys subject.
To be fair, the only reason this was my subject is because I sent a meme.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
What was
Why
that?
don't you describe the meme to us in great detail? Take all the joy out of it.
Well, I just wanted to use a thesaurus to name this episode, and I was told no. Because with
What?
the name I had, I felt it was perfect. It used the thesaurus, and it described exactly what this is. But I was told that might be a little bit too much for what we're doing.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, now I feel like you should share with the class.
Well, if you're watching the podcast on the
Originally.
actual podcast, it's called Thesaurus Park.
Well, I wanted to call it Mesozoic Pleasure Card.
Oh, right. Yeah, that is a little weird.
Nope, I used the thesaurus, and I even looked at everything up. Another word for park is pleasure garden.
My goodness. See, that's the problem with thesauruses. Was he right? Technically. But it was a very different spirit.
You're right. The time frame doesn't really match up.
Not so much.
No,
Yeah,
that sounds very kind of Roman.
No, we're looking at the Mesozoic era instead of the Jurassic era.
Which one came first?
The chicken.
Oh, helpful. No, Mesozoic or Jurassic or whatever. Nobody ever taught me.
The Paleolithic era.
I didn't learn evolution.
That's not really a surprise.
Yeah, no, when you think about it.
Are you telling me that at a religious school they didn't teach you the fundamentals of evolution?
They taught us the fundamentals, but not the, like...
There's Darwin at the door.
Like, we learned about Darwin and his finches.
This is Darwin, this is finches, this is God casting his soul into hell.
No,
Any questions?
Nobody sane has an argument with Darwin's finches. A few insane people do. But...
Okay, so Mesozoic era was known as the Age of Reptiles, and it was comprised of the Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods.
Oh, it's like a blanket term.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a few of those. But here's the other thing. Anyone who tells you, like, oh, it's this many years ago, or like carbon dating puts it at this many years ago, carbon dating itself is not accurate. It's like...
Well, that I know. That we learned.
Yeah, of course you learned carbon dating isn't accurate.
Naturally.
There's a fallacy in their science.
That's really funny.
Right. Obviously.
Yeah, why wouldn't you learn that?
Don't learn too much about evolution, but definitely learn how to prove it wrong.
Exactly. We had an entire class on that at one point.
Wait, if I'm getting this right, with how inaccurate carbon dating is, I could say like 20 years ago there were dinosaurs. And I would technically be right, but at the same time I would technically be wrong because there's evidence of proving you both.
Carbon dating can be off by about 50 to 100,000 years.
So, yes.
Yes, Caden, 20 years ago there were dinosaurs.
And they still walk among us.
You were just too young to remember them.
It was about 10 feet tall and it was a dinosaur from the Cretaceous era. And it's a dirty monster. Leave my kids alone.
Too bad we lost the last dinosaur this year.
That is heartbreaking.
Who? What?
I'm pretty sure he's
Okay.
probably talking about a person.
You mean the queen? That's mean,
We're gonna need a
dude.
bunch of new currencies.
That's mean, dude. That's low. She was only a reptile in
So was the
spirit,
queen.
man.
So I guess he's technically right, though. That's weird.
I mean, she was an alien from another planet. It doesn't count.
I mean,
Yeah,
to
that's
be
totally
fair,
different. Because you're a
that
dinosaur.
wasn't as low as the queen.
No. No.
That wasn't as
It'd
low
have
as
to
the
be
queen.
about 6 feet lower, right?
Yeah.
Boy.
Wow.
I don't like making fun of old dead ladies. Just feels bad.
Thank you for making fun of the monarchy instead.
No. She's still human.
Was correction.
I know, I got that in the middle of saying it. Oh,
I think that's the definition of a joke that's far too soon.
oh.
It's a little
Yeah.
fresh.
Well,
Like, has the new currency even been handed out yet?
It takes about a year and a half for it to actually get it out
Yeah.
that makes sense.
because they have, or during these 7 days or 8 days of mourning, they slowly
Yeah.
started to switch out the machines.
I heard everything was supposed to start at the end of that 8 days. Like, nothing's supposed to happen for that 8 days. And then once that's over, 12 days or whatever the time. And then after they start, that's when business starts again. So, yeah, I guess it'd be whatever. But
Yeah.
just curious.
Yeah.
There will never be
It'll be
another
interesting to
penny
see
with a
why.
king on it.
What?
There will never be another penny with a king on it.
Good point.
Mm.
At least not
Mhm.
in Canada. What
I was
about
gonna say,
Australia?
at least not in Canada.
I don't think Australia uses pennies, do they?
I don't know.
I heard something really funny about
Does
Australia.
Britain use pennies?
I know Americans. I don't think Americans do.
Americans still use pennies.
Do they?
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln and the White House on them.
I thought he used the 10-cent.
Nope, still have 1 penny slots down in Vegas too.
Australia does not use pennies.
I'm seeing they do.
That's confusing.
I get it. Australia's lying to everybody.
That seems fair.
They
They
have
don't want you
pictures.
to really know what it's like.
The question is, find a place that if they do use pennies, if they use copper, because I doubt they use copper.
Yeah.
They probably use
Yeah,
like
that would be
some
the other question.
some.
However,
Okay,
the
so they don't use
UK
them anymore.
The UK does, though, so there'll be pennies with the king on it in the UK.
That makes sense.
1 pence.
That's a penny.
That's what.
Mm.
But
It's
it
a
would be 1 pence,
synonym.
not a penny.
Do you know what a pence is?
Yes.
So a pence is. Do you know what 5 pence is called?
Yes, a nickel.
It's called a halfpenny, actually. So yes, there still will be a penny.
But only a halfpenny.
Still a penny.
Oh no.
I feel like I have to knock on a door 3 times in a row.
And then 2
At
halfpennies
least-
a pound.
Their money makes sense and is at normally. It's like
Yep.
10 now instead of the crazy ones we were so long.
What? You don't want a 60-cent coin?
Not really. I
I
also
want-
don't want
Wait,
a Harry
what?
Potter
I
I
style
want a
money.
$2 bill back.
They
My
have
mom has some.
My dad does too.
Where has a 60-cent coin? Why?
I think he's just making that up. But
Cause
Britain used to
you know
have, you
what?
know how money's super weird in Harry Potter, where like the nut is like this many sickles and it's a totally random number, and then this many sickles makes galleon and this totally random different number. British money used to be that way. It was all just random numbers between all of them.
Sorry, I was wrong, but there was a 59-cent coin.
That's even weird.
I like it. Just piss people off. You have two 59-cent coins.
It's just so awkward.
$1.18.
It's $1.20, so you give them 2 coins and 2 pennies, or like, it's so weird.
Just pay everything in 59-cent coins. Be like, I ain't doing the math. You fucking count it.
After the Norman conquest in 1066, the pound was divided into 20 shillings, or 240 pennies.
What?
So a shilling was subdivided into... Oh, wait. Before decimalization on 15th of February 1971, there were 20 shillings per pound. The shilling was subdivided into 12 pennies. The penny was further subdivided into 2 halfpennies, or 4 farthings, which were quarter pennies. So 2 farthings made 1 halfpenny, 2 halfpence made 1 penny, 3 pence made 1 threepence, 6 pence made 1 sixpence, or a tanner, 12 pence made a shilling, 2 shillings made a florin, which is
You're
a
gonna tell me
2
people in modern age are smart?
This was old British currency.
Oh,
We
2
should bring
shillings
that back.
and 6 pence makes a...
Yeah, that's what I mean. You like legit have to like know math to throw out coins.
Yeah.
We should bring that back.
I disagree.
It would be great.
It seems complicated.
It is complicated.
5 shillings is a crown.
Yep.
Oh, that's a pretty cheap crown.
So then I guess it would be 4 crowns to 1 pound. I'm really glad I never had to deal with that. That sounds miserable.
Jeez. Yeah, that does sound miserable.
That almost sounds like Henry VIII.
Sounds like it was skewed towards
More
people
crowns
who
to a pound?
controlled all the money.
Yeah, like the smarter the educated people.
Yeah.
Because you know how to do all the math. The poor people wouldn't know, so they would just overpay for shit.
And
Yeah.
underpay or
Because-
get paid less than for be like, oh,
They
you
get
could have
paid-
4 farthings instead of 10 shillings.
Yeah. I
There's
think
more
if you
coins
grew
here.
up with it, you would get
There
used.
is.
I think
But-
they should just reintroduce it every like 20 years. They like keep it and then they get rid of it again, so that no one actually knows how it works.
My God, do that to America. Make every 20 years they have to do 1 year of the metric system, and the whole world has to do 1 year of the imperial system.
Yes, that weighs 37 stone.
Exactly.
I totally know what that means.
You and me both, bud.
Guinea was 1 pound and 1 shilling, so 21 shillings. And it was considered a more gentlemanly amount than $1 pound.
Then what is a gentlemanly more amount?
So yes, because you're giving an extra shilling, I guess. So a guinea is like a fancier way to pay people.
Oh, shilling, how about I give you a guinea? Keep the extra change. Oh, fuck.
Right?
Sorry. Yawned that whole
People.
sentence.
Well, it's okay. 1 stone is only 14 pounds.
That's so confusing. I
Yeah,
never
'cause they did,
understand
and
it.
stone was how they measured like people's weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is still.
Yeah. That's weird.
And like horses, they count by hands. That's 16 hands high, that horse.
Yeah.
That is actually an average size for a horse. Good,
I was
good
like,
number.
I know, and I don't know what the fuck any of that means.
It's how many hands you can put on the horse before it kicks you in the face.
Yes, clearly.
How many
16
times
hands
you
is
can
about
caress
average
its
for, like, an
balls
average
before
horse.
it...
20 is average for like a Clydesdale.
Ah,
And
yes.
then the
Of course a
Bristol is
Clydesdale could
about
take
maybe
20
20%.
hands.
And I believe that's how many hands high, and it's
Yeah.
measured by like your hands being held together, right?
But
I
what's
think
the
it's
average
actually
size of a
width the
hand?
No.
I thought it was how
No.
many hands the horse
That's
had.
exactly it, right? See, it some farmers have little hands, you have some farmers
That
have
makes
big
sense,
hands.
actually.
But think
Greasy
about
boy.
how you measure
It's
your
totally.
height.
It must be totally about how many hands the horse has.
How tall are you, though, C4?
How tall am I? I'm 6'4".
Exactly. You just told me how tall you are in feet, so why not in hands?
Wait, I thought you were 3'11".
I mean,
2.5 hands to the
I'm
foot or something.
160. I'm 163 centimeters.
Are you? I think you should be more than that.
See, 163?
163.
No, that's not correct.
You should be around 200.
Yeah, I'm 173.
You are 19.2 hands tall.
Nice.
I'm 173, and you're taller than me.
Yeah, by quite a bit, too. You're a tall dude.
So by that,
193. You're right.
Than the average horse.
So I'm 193. So what is
there
that?
we go. That makes sense.
So what does that
Yeah,
mean in
that makes
hands?
quite a bit.
He's about as tall as the average Clydesdale.
You're 19.2 hands tall.
Yeah, you are about the same size as Clyde's.
However, that's measured to like the shoulders, so not the head. So if we only measured C4 to his shoulders.
No, he goes up to the shoulders.
So now we know that he's a workhorse and we can put him to work.
One hand is 10.16 centimeters.
Or if we ever wanted to measure a Clydesdale, we just have him stand next to him.
A
Your
one
Clydesdale is short.
0.333333 feet.
What?
One hand is 0.333333
4 inches. Dude, it's just
Oh, so
4 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just 4 inches.
No, it's 0.33333.
Yeah, that's 4
foot.
inches. That's exactly 4 inches. So one hand is 4
Absurd
inches.
number of nautical miles.
What?
It's 0.0000 like.
So isn't that not the same thing though? Nautical miles.
Nope. It's
Because the
under
way
the
it's
light.
like measured. I'm not sure how that all
No, a
works.
nautical mile is a distance, not a height.
Yeah, that's
What's
what I
the
thought.
difference between a nautical mile and a radian mile?
Like a light year, it's a distance.
A difference
But
between a
A
nautical
mile is
mile.
also a distance.
Sarah, the difference between a nautical mile, it's very subjective. I mean, it can tell you an exact number, but the reality of a nautical mile is you have a tire cord, you tie a rope, usually a rope that's over 1,000 feet, and you tie knots on it. And you throw the entire rope into the water, holding on to the far end. And then you count how long before it, so you count to an hour, and how long whatever knot you get to before that hour's, once that hour's up, you stop and you hold on to that knot, and that's the number you got. Then you pull out how many knots you have left, and that is literally the distance of a nautical mile.
To put that into
Okay, well, I looked it up and it says it's slightly longer than a mile on land, equaling
Yeah.
1.508 land measured miles.
Yeah.
It's based on the Earth's longitude and latitude coordinates, with one nautical mile equaling 1 minute of latitude.
Something like that, yeah. It's all with
Oh,
knots.
interesting.
That's why it's called
it's like
nautical.
GPS travel.
Yeah, that's really
like,
cool.
It's like knot. That's why they call it nauticals, because it's knots. You use knots.
Yeah, I knew.
Same with speed. Yeah, to tell how
Part of the
fast
reason
you
why
go.
That's why they say you're going 8
didn't
knots.
old
Exactly.
captain ships, the things on the what do you call them? The handles on the captain's wheels or whatever it marked out like a compass, basically, but for the ship.
No, it's not a compass. What's used to be on a wheel
Well, I mean, when you spun
is
it, if like that handle was up, that's about how far the ship was, like rotation and shit.
what you used to
It's
see on
weird.
wheels were little lines that either went like this, like a V or an L or a line or an upside. Like it looked like almost like a clock, because
Yeah,
what it was
yeah, yeah.
showing you is what the rudder was doing. So it was basically showing you the position of the rudder. So no matter what happened to the wheel, so let's say you're something happens and you get knocked out and you spin the wheel and you don't know what the wheel's at, you can look and see, and the wheel will tell you what position the rudder's at.
Yeah, yeah.
Because sometimes you'll have to spin the wheel multiple times because it's a giant groove system. It's really interesting. I love ships. Ugh.
About boats. Do you like boats?
Not so much.
What about galleons?
Galleon is a ship.
Type of ship.
Using synonyms.
So is a barkentine, and a berkentine, and a ketch, and a yawl. Those are all ships.
What about a nautiloid?
A
That's a ship.
nautiloid?
Hmm.
No, that's actually a
Dragonfly
boat.
ship.
Technically a boat.
I
Right?
don't think so. No,
Does it have smaller boats on it?
it could if you wanted it to.
Ah. Well, that's really the defining factor.
So wait, hear me out. If you have a dinghy and you have like a bunch of little boats on the dinghy, is that a ship?
It's a boat.
But you have other boats on it.
The definition of boat is a craft at which can float on its own with manned or multiple men that can be manned by one or multiple people.
So if you have a dinghy with a bunch of like life preservers, would that be considered a ship then?
Nope. Be called a life raft.
Because the life
Literally be called a
preservers
life
can
raft.
be-
You have a dinghy with a bunch of life preservers on it, life raft. That's definition. Like you literally, that's what a life raft is a dinghy with a bunch of life preservers on it. So that's a life raft.
Or it's stay out of the way of the giant space vessel.
That too.
No, we didn't have any life preservers.
That's still-
You were just holding on.
Still technically a life raft. No, a boat has to be able to support one or multiple persons by itself. Which means that thing that you designed in your campaign that looked like a dragonfly, if there's no other little ships on it, that is technically a boat. A flying boat.
Yeah. It definitely was a flying boat. It also there were 4 people on it, so
Ah, but there was no other boats on it, so thus it
there's
was
no
a boat.
guarantees of that. There was a second chair.
There was no second boat on it.
Would a canoe be a ship?
Ooh.
What about a catamaran?
No, a canoe is a canoe. And a canoe and a kayak are I forget what they're actually called, but those are the same.
So
Those
yeah,
don't-
they're their own.
They're not ships. They're still technically boats. As a catamaran can be a ship or a boat. Depends.
What about a sloop?
Sloops are ships for sure.
You realize he's just naming every
And a
boat
schooner?
name you can think of.
A schooner is a bigger sloop, so yeah, definitely a ship. No, he's testing my knowledge, but he's gonna find nothing but answers.
What about a steamboat?
Steam.
That depends on the boat.
Did you want to come again with that question?
You heard me, a steamboat.
Yeah.
All boats on it.
I'm gonna let you answer that one on your own. Next one.
That sounds like I don't know the answer, so I'm not going to tell you to me.
does.
It's a ship.
What if it doesn't have any smaller boats
Boat
on
in
it?
the
What if
game.
it's a really small steamship?
And then it's called a steamer, not a steamship or a steamboat. It's called a steamer.
Hmm.
Also, tugboats are types of steamers.
Well, what about a barge?
A barge? Oh, definitely a ship. Has to be. Need an
But
escape.
an arc.
A bark? I even went the.
No,
I
an
went.
arc.
Yeah, BARQ. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, that is a ship.
ARK.
A cark?
ARK. Arc.
Like Noah?
An ark?
Yeah, like
Yes.
I don't think there were any other boats on the Ark, just animals. Therefore, it was a boat.
An ark is a boat. I don't think an ark is meant to have escape ships.
It is the escape ship.
It was the escape
It is,
ship.
exactly. Next one. You didn't ask me about. Oh man, I got tons you didn't ask me about. There's so many more.
Oh, wait. The Ark, though, I bet it had some good escape goats.
At least 4 different species of scapegoats.
Yeah,
Scapegoats, eh?
yeah.
Excuse me while I go
Throw
throw
a
my
skiff.
head into a wall.
It'd be fun to watch.
Anyway, so much about
Do you
the
not know about a skiff?
Oh, you said a skiff?
Yeah.
No, a skiff is a boat. It's too small.
What about a bucket?
Does it float?
I would say it would float, yes.
A
Does it
bucket
have a
would
hole in the bottom?
technically be a boat.
But can it support a person? You said that's required for it to be a boat.
It's true.
It would have to be a big bucket.
It would have to be a big bucket.
Depends on the size of the person. Does it support a baby? Probably.
We're gonna have to find a baby in a bucket and find out.
And at that point, it's been a nice time talking to everybody.
Remember to love your grammars.
Yeah, it is time anyway. I hope you all have a good night. Oh, I was C4. This was Viking and Lizard Gentleman and Greasy Boy talking about boats and buckets and dinosaurs.
Synonyms.
And nothing to do with thesauruses.
We did.
We did so
You
talk about
kept
the sources.
denying what I was talking about the sources.
That being your favorite dinosaur?
No, my third favorite.
Well,
A thesaurus
because
of the
is
pterodactyl
a
brand.
dinosaur to help
Yeah,
expand your education. You look up words that you don't know. Something.
Can you tell us about Dory?
no, I can't remember anything.
What?